Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? No matter how much you try, you keep ending up in the same situations, with the same kind of people, making the same mistakes, feeling the same pain, again and again. It's as if life keeps handing you the same lesson, over and over, and you wonder why. Why does this keep happening? Why can't you seem to move forward? Why does it feel like something is holding you back? You're not alone, and it's not an accident. What you're experiencing is called a spiritual loop, a cycle your soul keeps repeating until you finally see it, until you finally learn, until you finally wake up. You see, life isn't random. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your way is there for a reason. It's a lesson, a mirror, showing you what you haven't healed yet, what you haven't understood about yourself. And until you learn, the lesson comes back. Different faces, different places, but the same core pattern, because your soul doesn't let go that easily. It came here to grow, to evolve, to remember what it's truly capable of, and growth only happens when you face yourself. But most people run from it. They numb themselves, blame others, pretend it's just bad luck or fate, but deep down, you know, you feel it. That quiet whisper telling you this isn't just chance, it's a message, a call to wake up, because the more you ignore it, the louder it gets, until you have no choice but to face it. Every argument that feels the same, every job that drains you in the same way, every relationship that ends in the same pain are not coincidences. They are signs, clues left by your soul, trying to guide you, trying to show you what you still carry inside, your wounds, your fears, your beliefs that no longer serve you. And when you finally see it, everything shifts. You realize you're not trapped, you're being taught, and the teacher has always been inside you. This is why you keep repeating, not because you're weak, not because you're cursed, but because your soul is trying to get your attention. And once you understand this, you can finally choose. You can finally break the cycle. You can finally step into who you were meant to become, and that is where your freedom begins. You see, spiritual loops are not punishments. They're invitations. Invitations to stop running and start looking within, because what you keep facing out there is just a reflection of what's still inside you. Every unhealed wound, every unspoken truth, every buried fear has a way of showing up again and again until you're ready to feel it, to face it, to release it. But most people don't see it that way. They call it bad luck or blame others. They jump from one job to another, one relationship to another, thinking the next one will be different. But it never is. Because the real work is not out there. It's in here, inside you. The same fear that keeps you quiet, the same anger that keeps you stuck, the same doubt that keeps you small, are all lessons you've avoided. And every time you avoid them, life sends them back to you. Like waves on a shore, relentless, unstoppable, until one day, you stop running. And in that moment, you see what was always there. You see how each person in your life played a role in your story. The one who hurt you, showed you where you didn't love yourself yet. The one who left you, taught you how to stand alone. The one who betrayed you, revealed your own lack of trust in yourself. You begin to see the pattern, and when you see it, you can change it. You realize you don't have to react the same way anymore. You don't have to keep proving yourself. You don't have to keep repeating the same pain, because you are not your past. You are not your wounds. You are not your mistakes. You are the awareness, watching it all unfold, learning, growing, and in that awareness, you find your power. This is how the cycle begins to break. Not by changing the world around you, but by changing the world within you. And the moment you do, everything outside starts to shift too, because the world you see is just a mirror of who you are. And when you change the reflection, you change everything. So what happens when you finally start to see the pattern? At first, it can feel heavy, almost too heavy to hold. You begin to notice how much of your life has been caught in these loops. The same arguments, the same disappointments, the same kind of love that always ends the same way. And you wonder, how could you not see it sooner? That's the first lesson. Awareness comes when you're ready, not a moment before. And now, you are ready. But that doesn't mean it's easy, because seeing the pattern means you can no longer pretend, no longer hide behind excuses, no longer blame the world. You realize the loop was never out there. It was inside you all along, carried in your choices, your thoughts, your beliefs about yourself. And at first, that realization can hurt. You feel anger at yourself for letting it go on this long, for ignoring the signs. You feel grief for the years you lost, for the chances you didn't take, for the pain you kept inviting back into your life without even knowing. You may even feel fear, because if you created the loop, what else have you been creating? But don't stop there, because beneath all of that is something powerful. Choice. The moment you see the pattern, you take back your power. You create space. And in that space, you can choose something new. Instead of reacting, you breathe. Instead of blaming, you reflect. Instead of running, you stay. And you feel. For the first time, you allow yourself to feel what you've avoided. The sadness, the shame, the doubt, the loneliness. And in feeling it, you begin to heal it. You begin to release what you've been carrying. And little by little, the loop weakens. You start to notice how your reactions change, how the same situation no longer triggers you the same way, how you attract different kinds of people, how the world around you starts to feel lighter. Because you are becoming lighter, you are no longer the same. This is the gift of awareness. It doesn't erase your past, but it gives you the pen to write a different future. And your future can be anything you choose. You don't need to know how it ends. You don't need to fix it all right now. You just need to begin. One step, one breath, one choice at a time. And if this message resonates with you, if something deep inside whispers yes, then keep going. Stay with us. There is more to uncover, more to remember. Let's keep walking this path together. So now, you've begun. You've taken the first step. You've seen the pattern. You've started to feel what you used to avoid, and already, things feel different, don't they? The same situations still come, the same challenges still appear, but you are no longer the same. Instead of reacting the old way, you pause, you breathe, you watch, and you notice something incredible. The loop was never as strong as you thought. It only felt unbreakable because you believed it was. But now, you see how fragile it really is. You see how much of it was just a story you kept telling yourself. I'm not good enough. I always get hurt. Nothing ever works out for me. Those stories kept you trapped, and now you see them for what they are, just stories, not truth. And when you stop believing them, you stop feeding the loop. That's when the real change begins. You start to notice little shifts. You speak up. Where you used to stay quiet, you walk away. Where you used to cling, you trust yourself. Where you used to doubt, and every time you choose differently, you break another thread of the old cycle. This doesn't mean the journey is over. It's only beginning. Some days, you may still stumble. You may still fall back into the old pattern. But now, you see it. And seeing it is power. You pick yourself up. You learn. You try again. And little by little, you realize you're no longer the person you used to be. Your energy changes, your choices change, your reality changes, and others notice. Some may not understand. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You have. But the ones who are ready will feel it too, and they'll be drawn to you. Because awakening spreads. One soul wakes another, and another, until the whole pattern unravels. If this journey feels familiar, stay with us. There's more to discover, and you don't have to walk this path alone. The more you wake up, the more you see. You start noticing patterns, not just in yourself, but in everyone. You see how others keep repeating the same stories, the same fears, the same mistakes, without even realizing it. And for a moment, you feel sadness, because you know how it feels to be trapped. to believe you have no choice, to think life is just suffering. But then you remember that you were there once too, and if you could find your way out, so can they. You begin to understand this is not just about you. Every step you take out of your own loop helps unravel the bigger one, the collective loop, the one we're all tangled in together, because you are not separate from the whole. You never were. Your healing is part of something larger, a ripple that spreads through every connection you have, every word you speak, every choice you make, every time you choose love over fear, lights the way for someone else. And slowly, the world begins to change, not through force, not through anger, but through awareness. One person at a time, one heart at a time, and you realize that was the point all along. The loops were never there to punish you. They were there to teach you, to wake you up, to help you remember who you really are. And who you really are is not broken, not weak, not small. You are consciousness itself, learning through this body, through this life, through these lessons. And every time you break free from a loop, you bring the whole closer to awakening. This is why you're here. This is why your soul chose this path, to grow, to remember, to help others do the same. And now, you stand at the edge of something new, the loops behind you, their weight finally lifting, the future wide open, waiting for you to step forward. You've seen what was hidden all along. You've felt what you spent so long running from, and you've chosen, perhaps for the first time, to face yourself instead of hiding. That choice alone is victory. But this is not the end. It never was. Because awakening is not a destination, it's a path. And the more you awaken, the more there is to discover. New layers of yourself waiting to be uncovered, new truths about the world revealing themselves in quiet, unexpected ways, new opportunities to grow, to evolve, to expand into who you truly are. And yes, sometimes the old patterns will whisper to you again, the familiar fear, the familiar pain, the familiar doubt. That's natural. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means there's still more to heal, more to release. And that's okay. So you take another breath, another step, and you keep going, because now you know. You're not here to stay the same. You're not here to keep living the same story. You're here to change, to grow, to become. And every time you choose differently, every time you respond with love instead of fear, compassion instead of judgment, trust instead of doubt, you write a new story. Not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. Because we're all in this together, all part of the same awakening, and each of us, when we rise, helps lift the whole. It all begins with a single choice, a choice you felt in your heart for longer than you realize, that quiet question your soul has been whispering to you all along, soft, but steady. Are you ready to break free from your loops, or will you keep living the same lesson, until you finally choose to change? Share your answer below. Let's wake up, together.